it's Stephanie here with a video for SimonsSaysStamp.com. Today's video features the new July card kit, which has the great Pen Pal collection from Pink Paisley, as well as a new exclusive Simon Says stamp set that has some great sentiments and imagery for thinking of you and hello type cards. So for this card today, I'm going to go ahead and start with the stamp set, and I'm mainly using just the stamp set to create this card. I'm going to be using the large Thinking of You sentiment as the focal point of the card. I love how big this is and the scripty look to it. It's just a really fun sentiment to use on all types of Thinking of You cards. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up with the Simon Says Stamp lipstick red ink, which is an ink pad that comes in your kit. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that directly onto the center of this white cardstock panel that I have here. And once I have that fully stamped on there, I'm going to go ahead and restamp it again with Versamark ink. And I'm just going to stamp it directly onto that stamp and then go directly over top, which is super easy to do when you're using a clear stamp because you can see through it and just position it over top of where you've already stamped. So I'm just making sure I put a lot of pressure and get that fully covered. And then I'm adding some Judikins iridescent embossing powder on top of the entire stamped piece. And I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss that. And when it's finished heat embossing, you can see that it fully goes back to that great red color, but now it has a great shine and shimmer to it that wasn't there just from the stamping. So just a fun, easy way to add a little bit of fun detail to a stamped image without being too over the top. So now that I have that done, I just went ahead and adhered that piece onto a card base, and I also added a tiny strip of one of the pattern papers that come in the kit to the side area of that stamped piece. And then I'm also going to add one more piece of pattern paper that I've cut from the 6x6 pattern papers included, and this is more of a brighter red and pink color to kind of tie in with that sentiment stamp that we have there. And then once I have that on there, I'm just going to go ahead and trim that down so that it fits perfectly on the card front. Once I have that finished, I decided that to fill up all the space around the sentiment, I wanted to use one of these fun envelope images. So I'm using one of the smaller ones, and I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that to my block and ink that up with VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I really like this ink for detailed stamping. It's a great black ink, so I tend to use it quite often. And I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of figure out where I wanted that first envelope and add that to the card there. And then continue on and add two more envelopes, both underneath the sentiment, just to kind of fill up that bottom space. And then once I had both of those stamped on there, I was trying to decide what I wanted to do to kind of connect all of the envelopes together and kind of tie in the design. So the first thing I decided to do was take one of the small heart images that come in the stamp set and use that same lipstick red ink that I used for the sentiment. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that onto the center area of all the envelopes. And I didn't catch it on video because my big head was in the way and I didn't figure you wanted to see that. So I just went ahead and stamped that centered onto the top flap area of the envelopes. You can see them all there now. And then to completely tie the envelopes together, I'm just using a black marker and just drawing some dotted lines and kind of adding a loop here and there if I thought that it would work, and just kind of going through the sentiment. I'm not actually writing on the sentiment, I'm just adding the dash lines in between the words. And I'm just kind of going from the top area of the card right to the bottom, and I'm just positioning those lines so that they completely go to each of the envelopes. It's just a fun way to give more detail to the card front so it's not as plain, and just kind of, I thought it kind of mimicked the envelopes kind of floating through the air and letting the recipient know that you're thinking of them, and with this, happy mail, just kind of the idea of the stamp set. So once I had those completely on there, I really liked that design. I loved how the dotted lines kind of brought it all together. And I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of glitter to each of the red hearts with my Wink of Stella clear glitter marker, and then that's going to complete the card today. So a super simple card created mainly with the stamps with a fun, unique look. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see what you create with this month's kit. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.